Shalom Israel. With the GMS Dallas camp. First off, we want to just give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, double honors to the elders, and peace and blessings to the brothers of the elect that's out there pushing the word in truth and sincerity. Just wanted to get into a quick lesson, just dealing with fasting and just the importance of fasting and some of the reasons why men of the Lord fasted, and just basically some of the different ways that you can fast. You know, just basically just stressing, you know, the importance of fasting. You know, for a lot of younger brothers, they may not really understand the importance of that, because I know we have certain high holy days where it's pretty much it's a commandment. Like we got the Day of Atonement coming up, but it's other times where, you know, men of the Lord, you know, fasted, you know, for strength, for spiritual guidance, when they were looking for answers maybe from the Most High. Maybe when they was looking for the Most High to reveal a decision that they needed to make. So we're going to just go into some different accounts where men of the Lord, you know, fasted and prayed, you know, and kind of see the results from that act, you know. And get Ezra.
Gotcha.
8:21.
This is Ezra chapter 8, verse 21. And it says, "Then I proclaimed a fast there at the river Ahala, that we might afflict ourselves before the Most High."
That's right. He says that we may afflict ourselves before the Most High, because as a part of fasting goes, you have to afflict your body. You know, it's one thing to go without food, but you know, when to go without water, man, to be thirsty, that really locks your mind in, and you're focused. And you have to humble yourself and depend on the Most High to give you strength to really get through. So you're afflicting yourself, man. Go ahead.
To seek of him a right way for us.
That's right. So the scripture is saying right here to seek a right way for us. So the men of the Lord, they was at a crucial point in this particular passage. You could go read it yourself, the whole chapter, to get more understanding. But basically, they was looking for the Most High to reveal, you know, the right path that they should take by afflicting their souls. Because when you humble and afflict your soul for the Most High, you know, the Most High sees those things. You know, and that's it on that. Go ahead and get the one in Acts 13:2.
This is Acts 13:2. "And they ministered to the Most High and fasted. The Holy Spirit said, Separate me, Barnabas and Saul, from the work whereunto I have called them. And when they have fasted and prayed and laid their hands on them, they sent them away. So they being sent forth by the Holy Ghost departed unto Seleucia, and from thence they sailed to Capernaum. And when they were at Salamis, they preached the word of the Most High in the synagogues of the Jews, and they had also John to their ministry."
That's pretty much the point on that. So also sometimes when you fast, the Most High, like I'm gonna reiterate actually, He gives you answers of which course you need to take. So right now, you know, He was giving Paul and Barnabas direction in the Spirit on the path that they needed to go as far as teaching the ministry. Because in this same book, I believe it talks about the account where it talks about the contention between Paul and Barnabas was so bad that they parted asunder. But it was all set up in the Spirit. It was for the furthering of the gospel, you know, to be taught into the Gentiles, you know, in the direction that Paul went, you know. And then for Barnabas, he had his own mission too, all set up through the Spirit. But they fasted, you know, for the Most High to reveal what they needed to do, which course that they needed to take. Because a lot of times, Jake too, man, with their decision making, they get real, what's the word I'm looking for? Rash. They don't seek the counsel of the Most High through fasting and prayer. Because just by, you know, doing something like fasting and praying to the Most High, or, you know, even just a small decision, but that it could have a crucial impact on your life, the Most High could put you right where you need to be. So it's important, man. You know, these are just some of the reasons that we fast, you know. We can get the account also in, go ahead and get Psalms 35 and 13.
Okay. Psalm chapter 35, verse, let me see.
Okay, you can start at 11. Salah. Yep.
Psalms 35 and 11. False witnesses did rise up. They laid to my charge things that I knew not. They rewarded me evil for good, to be the spoiling of my soul. Verse 13. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting, and my prayer returned unto me into my own bosom.
That's right. So David is saying that he humbled his soul with fasting. You know, he brought himself to a low state. And then through that, it says his prayer returned into him. Because sometimes, like we always got to say, I think the brother from Arkansas, when he was down here speaking, he made a beautiful point. Sometimes, man, Jake don't even know what the hell to pray for.
That's right.
You praying for all the wrong shit, man.
Yeah.
So right here, David is saying through fasting, you know, through you know, basically just humbling his soul before the Most High, his prayer returned into his bosom. So he had a direct link to what to even ask the Most High for, you know, to deal with the situation where his enemies coming up falsely against him, man. And we in the last days, we in this truth. We know that we servants under Yahweh Shai, and the servant is no greater than the master. So some of the things that Yahweh Shai and his disciples had to endure, all the apostles and disciples and prophets that they had to endure, we gonna have to endure the same things, man. We out here condemning this wicked kingdom. So in the days to come, man, you're gonna have all different types of slander and lies. People, yeah.
You see it going on now?
They starting to know.
Yeah, you see, you know, we getting slandered, being called pedophiles. You know, you have people out there that actually made YouTube accounts just to scoff against hopefully Most High, the man of the Most High. You know, you got one cat saying, is your daughter 9 years old?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Basically going around saying you raping 9-year-olds. You know?
But yeah, the point is, like, the Most High has us in a situation where it's relatively easy. You know, I mean, brothers they have their own different burdens to bear. But we coming into a time, man, where this thing is going to get very tough, man.
Yeah.
And that's going to be one of the things that makes it tough. People coming up lying against you. When you know in your spirit, Lord willing, we those men, we trying to be righteous men. But just because people don't understand, you know, the foolishness of preaching of Yahweh Shai, they going to come up falsely, you know, against us. And the scriptures say that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time. So we know through the scriptures that part of having wisdom is knowing that in certain situations, man, when you just don't know what the hell to do, you just going to have to pray and fast for the Most High to show you what to do.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is Tobit chapter 12, verse 8. Prayer is good with fasting, and alms and righteousness. A little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness.
That's right. A little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness. Is that how it went? So even if you just trying, man, maybe, you know, here and there, you know, when just things maybe seem too easy, because usually when things are kind of going easy from you, it's something right around the corner, man.
Yep, that's what it is. If you're going months, you're going well, in the back of your mind, you know, man, I know something's about to happen to me. So, you know, before you get to that point, man, maybe the Most High, you know, maybe you can prepare yourself from what the Most High is trying to, you know, get out of you. Besides getting a whooping, you know what I'm saying? Via fasting and praying.
That's right. And the Most High, He'll see that and bless that spirit. Like you'll have the spirit that David came in, where you're going to humble your soul to the Most High and afflict yourself before the Most High. So even if certain things, because we all know that the Most High is trying our spirits, but you'll be able to endure that. You know, you won't, I guess you'll take the less of the loss, so to speak. Because the Most High will be dealing through that situation, because He'll see that you're a humble servant and that you're willing to afflict your soul, man, for Him, for His name's sake, for righteousness' sake, you know? let's see here. Get Matthew 17 and 14. We're gonna read this account because another reason too, man. One of the aspects of hell we always go into, besides like financial hell, hell with your woman, your job, you know, different ailments. It's just demons, man, fucking with your mind, man.
All types of shit, man.
It be just all types of demons, you know. You be trying to, you know, have a spiritual mindset. I'm gonna try to do what's right, but then you may be around people in the world, you know, listening to today's stupid ass conversations, and sometimes you might have demons in your mind, man, or just by yourself chilling, or laying in the bed at night. It may just be demons just fucking with your mind, man, and your spirit, you know, keeping you from getting a good night of sleep.
Yeah. If you notice, the demons are coming when you know, at your weakest point. Case in point, like when you're waking up in the morning or when you're going to sleep, you have all these type of thoughts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
As you wake up, or you wake up from it, you're like, man, where did that come from? You know? Yeah. You just want to have a demon that'll tell you, man, oh God. And you like, what? You wake up and you're like, where did that come from, man? Mm-hmm. So the demons, a lot of times, man, but most of the time they attack you at your weakest point.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And I know brothers pray, you know, when they got certain demons attacking their mind, but we gonna get an account here where Yahweh Shah said that prayer, sometimes it ain't enough. Just prayer is in itself. Go ahead, brother. What you got? Well, who else got?
Matthew 17:14. When they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man kneeling down to him and saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is a lunatic and sore vexed. For oft time he fall into fire and off into the water. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. Then Yahushua answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. And Yahushua rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him, and the child was cured from the very hour.
That's right. So, you know, you have an account here where even Yahushua's disciples, man, they was not even able to cast out, you know, the demons that this dude had on him in this account, man. But look what Yahushua about to tell his disciples when they asked him how he was able to do it. Go ahead.
Then came the disciples to Yahushua apart and said, why could not we cast him out? And Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of a mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you.
That's right. Let me just stop you right there, because another aspect of fasting too, you're doing it out of faith. Because faith, man, that's the whole centerpiece on everything that we do, as far as how we operate in this truth, man. Whether it's going out teaching, doing these lessons right here, how we dealing amongst the brothers, putting all that old bullshit that you did, you know, before you knew of this knowledge away. We doing it all through faith. So like I'm going into the lesson pertaining to fasting, you do a fast out of showing your faith to the Most High. That he's going to reveal something to you, that he's going to cast a certain demon off of you. You know? Go ahead.
Verse 21, howbeit this kind goes not out but by prayer and fasting.
That's right. So Yahushua told his disciples that type of devil goes out no way but by prayer and fasting. And of course, within prayer and fasting, you obviously got to have faith.
Right.
You have to have faith and believe that the Most High, you know, has the best interest for your life and the best direction plan for your life and which direction you should take. And also, I just want to kind of get into the aspect, since we're dealing with faith, of how fasting actually strengthens your faith. And get Matthew chapter 4. It's another account with Yahushua we was tempted.
So you already started.
That's what I'm trying to find out.
First chapter.
Yeah, you can really start at the first.
This is St. Matthew 4:1. Then when Yahushua led up the spirit in the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. And when he had fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungry. And when the tempter came to him, he said, "If thou be the Son of the Most High, command that these stones be made bread." But he answered and said, "It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High."
That's right. Hold on. So, so going right here, you have an account where Satan is tempting Yahweh Shai. So, like I think you just mentioned, a lot of times when Satan tempts you is when you're at your lowest point. And at this point, Yahweh Shai had fasted 40 days, man. He went without food or drink, man. So he was at a low point, man. He was at a low point, but even when Satan came to him and tempted him, man, he still cut him, He said, "Man shall not live by bread alone, by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High." So that showed faith, man. And that showed even in that low state where he was afflicting himself, his faith was being built up. His faith was being strengthened through that process of fasting, man. Because you totally locked in, man, when you ain't just, and it ain't even just necessarily like I want to go into also, there's different ways you can fast other than just, having no food or water. It's certain pleasures brothers have in their lives, man. You might not necessarily be going off by doing certain things, but it may be something you don't need to do as much, man. Especially if it's taking time away from you that you could be putting forth and maybe putting down a lesson together, or maybe calling a brother to build his spirit up, or doing something, in the likeness of Yahweh Shai and walking after the spirit. Whether it's like maybe not dealing, with women as much, maybe it's not spending as much money on just bullshit.
Right.
Because we all need to be more frugal with our money too. Maybe it's not going out as much. The list goes on and on. Brothers, have to examine their own lives, and they know, what you like to do, and you have to really examine it and see what things that you need to be more moderate in, man. Because too much of anything, it ain't good for you, man.
That's right.
Whether it's watching TV, listening to music, and just bullshitting, whatever the case may be. It's different levels where you can fast and really cut out the bullshit in your life, man, that separate you from the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
That's right, brother.
Let's see here. Get Isaiah 58:3. Somebody.
58. You got it.
Go ahead, bro.
Isaiah chapter 58 verse 3. Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not? Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast you find pleasure, and exact all your labors.
Read that again, right?
Come. Isaiah chapter 58 verse 1.
No, the verse started at 3.
Verse 3 is like, wherefore have you fasted, say they, and thou seest not? Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast you find pleasure, and exact all your labors.
That's right. So if you're going to be fasting too, man, make sure you're doing it out of faith, and that you're doing it for the right reasons, to really humble your soul before the Most High. Not to seek vain, just vain or whatever from men or the people please, man. Because really when you fasting, you ain't even really supposed to be letting people know that you're fasting.
Right. Yep.
The scriptures talk about that too, man. Like it talk about like wiping your you can get that. Matter of fact, go ahead and get it.
All right. This is St. Matthew chapter 6 verse 17, and it says, "But thou, when thou fastest, anoint thine head and wash thy face, that thou appear not unto men to fast, but unto thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly."
That's right. So the Most High, man, whose eyes is 10,000 times brighter than the sun, man. He sees everything. He sees the ways of men. He understands our mind and our spirit to the core. So he knows if you're sincerely fasting out of faith.
I should have started.
And if that's the point, if that's the case, the Most High gonna reward thee openly, man, in due time.
Con.
So if you are fasting, you shouldn't be doing it, you know, to be praised by men, because you're going off if you're doing that, man.
That's right. I should have started at 16. That's when that one covered.
You got some more to that?
I should have jumped up to 16.
Yeah, go ahead. Any information you want to add to it? That's cool.
This is fasting in the blue letter Bible. It comes from Hebrew word tazawam, which says to very straight point, to point. First definition, last definition says to abstain from a food fast, and then down here it goes in detail about like the root of it. It says the primary idea lies in the mouth being shut. See as to the root word in the ma above. Just basically, man, just keeping your mouth shut. So like the brother said, you know, going into just sustaining for certain things, man. Holding back, being quiet. You dig what I'm saying?
That's a good point. Did you have more in Matthew?
I can just read verse 16 real
Go
quick.
ahead.
Basically, it says, this is Matthew chapter 6, verse 16. It says, moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites of a sad countenance.
Yep.
For they disfigure their faces, that they may appear unto men to fast.
Catholics.
That's right, man. So that's important too. What's that scripture in Ephesians chapter 2 and 8, I think? Yeah, it says, for by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High, man. So, you know, that's why the Most High has fasting set up that way. That it's a fast to humble your soul before Him only. Okay? Because if it was something where you just fasting, you know, Jake would do it more if they could let other men know, to be propped up with men, thinking that they're doing it of themselves. You know, when really you're supposed to be fasting to humble yourself strictly before the Most High, man.
That's right, man. You see it in the Catholic Church, man. And what Ash Day, you know, what they do is that, don't they do that before Mardi Gras, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, that was called man.
Lent Day, to where you know the Lord Most High is gonna forgive you, so you the next day you can do all your bull, your BS.
Put ashes on your forehead.
Put ash on your forehead. Lent Day, when you go in, you gonna ask for forgiveness for all the things you've done, and you about to do, especially for tomorrow, so you can get it in, basically.
That's right.
Kind. If I could just say this too, you know, the scriptures talk about that as well. You know, scripture says that people that go openly and do that, you know, they're gonna have their reward.
Yes.
And their reward is basically that.
Mhm.
Just people walking around and, oh, you fasting, you doing this, you doing that. And that's it, man. And that all comes to naught at the end of the day. The Most High ain't with it, and the Most High ain't gonna hear you, man. Because just like the brother's going into, you know, fasting is a thing to build you up, and not only to build, you know, to unlock things from you and the Most High to bless you, but also to build your faith up, man.
Kind of.
You know?
That's the important aspect of it, man. Just centered around that faith, man. Fasting, if you're a man of the Lord, the Most High is dealing with you, it's gonna build your faith, man. Because really, that's all we got to depend on this side, man. We doing everything that we do out of faith and hope that the Most High gonna show us mercy. And I was reading in Ephesians 2 and 9, it says, not of works, lest any man should boast. So if it was left up to just us to just be fasting, and we just doing it just to be doing it, and the Most High didn't have it set up to where He only really honors it if you're fasting before Him and not letting everyone know, people will be boasting about it, you know? Like, man, I fasted like, you know, 2 days out of this month. I did this and I did that. You know how Jake get, man.
Bring it up in the conversation.
Try to make you feel sorry for him, you know?
Minimum.
Yeah, you know, just...
Man, you meet this week.
Yeah.
You know.
When And that's not an act of humility,
Yeah.
you know? But the Most High has it set up to where if you're going to fast, man, out of sincerity, you just do it, you know, and just keep your mouth shut, man. And afflict your soul for the Most High, man. And He's the one that's going to strengthen you. And if He chooses to glorify you in certain situations, man, just based on the fact that you depending on Him for answers, you know, for hope, you know, for direction, you know, in your walk with Yahweh Shah, man, then so be it.
That's right.
But going back to Isaiah, go back to Isaiah 58, and this is pretty much it. We'll close it out on this one unless anybody got something else.
Isaiah 58:3.
Come.
Isaiah chapter 58, verse 3. Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not? Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and they taketh no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast you find pleasure, and exact all your labors. Verse 4. Come. Verse 4. Behold, you fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. You shall not fast as ye do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high.
That's right. So if you want to be fasting, man, you better damn well make sure you're doing it for the right reason, man. Because the Most High could destroy you. So that shows also too, man, that like the importance of it. Like if you fasting, is not to be taken as some light thing, man. Go ahead.
Verse 5. Is it such a fast that I have chosen? A day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush, and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Wilt thou call his fast in an acceptable day to the Lord?
Right. So if you fasting, you know, the scriptures talk about examining yourself in 2 Corinthians chapter 13. So you know, in your mind and your spirit, if what you're doing is acceptable for the Lord willing.
That's right.
So whatever you got going on in your life, if you just have a spirit of faith on you, just to be like, hey, I'm just gonna fast, then make sure you're doing it, you know, with the right, with the spiritual mind frame. To most importantly, you know, humble yourself before the Most High, and make sure that what you're doing, you're doing it with the mindset that it's going to be acceptable before the Most High.
Right.
You know, because that's part of a sacrifice. That's sacrificing too. Let me see how I want you to go down to. Yeah, that's pretty much the point on that. But you know, I just want to go into fasting, like the importance of fasting, why you should fast, different levels that brothers can fast. You know, so I know we got the Day of Atonement coming up probably in like the next month or so, and that's a high spiritual holy day to where, you know, we have to afflict our souls for the Most High, you know. But it's other times besides that brothers can fast, you know, and it ain't something that you need to be letting other brothers know about, man. If you fasting, just fast, man. Even if you decide like to not drink or something or whatever the case, you doing less out of trying to show that you humbling yourself before the Most High, man. Just keep it in your own mind, man. Right. And with that, you know, hopefully it's edifying to younger brothers, you know, or whoever, you know, has the spirit to receive it. And with that, we want to say all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, double honors to the elders, and salutations to the brothers of the elect. And with that, I want to say, man up and shalom, Israel.
Shalom.